So I'll start with the brief request so that you can briefly introduce yourself. Please, let me start with Laba.
Hello, everyone. My name is Larba Nadieba. I'm originally from Burkina Faso, a country which is currently in Africa to spotlight. You know it, probably. And I I am based in Germany, where I lived since 30 years. So basically, I am an expert in cybersecurity and digital sovereignty. Yeah, coming from Africa, I would like to bring that point today in the discussion, cybersecurity and, of course, digital sovereignty. I'm working at Datacon in charge of the African markets, and yeah, here I am.
Thank you. Next, please.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, before I start with anything, I would like to thank you guys and thanks all the organizers and especially the students, whoever is coming here. And the event is beautiful. And what you have done in terms of like lunch, VIP services, all of that, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for that. My name is Samer Hani and I work for Midis Group, in particular a company called IGIL, and we are one of the sponsors in this event. Um, the most important thing is that what we're going to discuss now and what we're going to do in terms of transfer of knowledge, that's the most important thing, is to learn from each other. Please.
Thank you. Next.
Thanks, everybody. My name is Eric McGee. I'm from South Africa. I am part of the Midis Group representing Ivanti. My background is, to a large extent, been in the cybersecurity space for a couple of decades. Either at a service provider running security services for large enterprises, and then also a stint at Deloitte looking at cyber risk and risk mitigation for large enterprises. I'm here today to represent the Ivanti brand and the solutions that we offer in the space, specifically around utilizing AI and automation to make things better from a defender perspective.
Thank you very much, Eric.
Thank you. My name is Emmanuel Carter. My background is in IT security, mainly cybersecurity, where I began my career in 1999 in IT security. And I've been in IT security right from the private sector and now in public sector. Currently, I'm the Secretary ICT Security and Audit Control at the State Department of ICT under the Ministry of Information, Communications, and the Digital Technology. I am also an alternate board member of the ICT Authority, an alternate to the PS ICT and Digital Economy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Let's clap for them, please. Buena Secretary, I think I'll start with you. You are our host, and in this case, you are the government. We've just been taken through a very good, presentation by both Letgen and Kelvin on Zero Trust. Now, the presentation highlights how Zero Trust frameworks are critical in securing hyper-distributed environments. We've seen that. From a national policy perspective, how is the ministry embedding trust in Kenya's digital architecture to support secure cloud? We just launched the cloud policy. Remote, we have a huge workforce that works remotely, and of course, an AI-generated cyber threats and services.
Thank you for that question, Philip. First is what I'll just want to tell people is I know government plays catch up, but what I would say this government is trying to catch up as fast as possible. When this administration came into power, the first cabinet secretary created a team, a task force that was tasked with looking at all the laws in Kenya. It was called the Sector Working Group, in order to make them relevant to allow the quick propagation of the digitization in Kenya. And that task force did its work, and early this year submitted its report to the current cabinet secretary. And now much of the report, with the reforms that have been suggested in terms of additional laws and changing the current laws so that they are able to accommodate digitization, it's work in progress. We also are working quickly to try and create cybersecurity laws which will be progressive and not retrogressive to the country. And I would say we are at an advanced stage. One, to create a cybersecurity agency within the country that will coordinate cybersecurity and be able. So how are we embedding zero trust? First and foremost is creation of frameworks, which is most important, because without the right frameworks, you can try and put tools in silos, but you will not be able to achieve zero trust as it may be. So therefore, the frameworks are the most important. Secondly, we need to train our staff in government. We've been lagging in that, and there's a lot of energy. We saw a curriculum being launched recently for the digital hubs and all that. And we are also moving to skill up our people so that they can be able to use the technologies as were presented by the two keynote speakers. It's one thing having the technology, it's another thing using it the right way. The other thing is transparency and accountability. It's been emphasized within government so that we are as transparent as possible and accountable as possible to be able to enable a zero trust framework. And finally is our cross-border relations and being able to have cross-border collaboration in order to encourage. You realize today it's a global village. It's not just about you as a country. It's not about you as an organization. There's a lot that is moving across. So are we able to make our laws friendly to our to enable secure and trustable trade across the borders? Things like the Data Protection Act, do we have enough adequacy to be able to allow data flow and all that? So the government is really working on that. I know we are playing catch up, but we'll soon be there. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Buena Secretary. I would want to do a follow-up question to Eric, following to what Secretary Carter has just highlighted. And my question is, one of the key challenges that has also been raised is that there are too many disparate security tools that create complexity and blind spots. From your perspective, how consolidation and AI-driven automation to reduce this burden for IT teams, as you have heard from Secretary Carter, while ensuring security across endpoints and services? Eric.
Yes, thank you. That's a very good segue into what we do. So from an Avanti point of view, I think there's an additional complexity that comes with running IT teams, and that they are very siloed. So you have endpoint teams, you have server teams, you have security teams, you have cloud teams, network teams, and they all run within their own domain. They have their own SLAs, and they deliver services according to what they are contracted to do. So you add that complexity to the proliferation of endpoints, of data, of services into cloud, and so forth. It becomes very, very complex. So the whole motto is to drive the simplification and the democratization of IT data across those teams, so that we enable better collaboration, better protection, better insights. The security team is always required to solve problems.
Now it's still working?
Continue.
across all those domains, but they don't have ability to have access to the information that they need within those different domains. So what Ivanti does is to first create visibility by driving the discovery of devices so that we have a common base of assets that we want to protect. Secondly, we ingest information from those various management systems and then take that data and make it available to all the different teams. So in other words, democratizing that data. So the security team has access to the information they need to understand when an attack happens, what it means in terms of performance, in terms of storage, in terms of processes that are running, whatever they need, they have the information available. And then we go a step further by taking automation and AI to make sense of a lot of the information that we get through classification of incidents to make sure that we understand exactly what happens across all those domains, and also then to automate remediation steps, which helps the collaboration between these different teams, because the security team needs to remediate some breach. They can create some auto remediation steps through predictable set of steps. And then the endpoint teams will be happy for them to actually effect those because they know exactly what those remediation steps will be. And that way we also breach that gap. So by creating a common base to look at, understand, make those data available to everybody, and then automate those is the one step. The next thing we do is through helping organizations to make sense of vulnerabilities. So vulnerability management is a massive problem. We'll try to fix the issues that hackers are trying to exploit, but the sheer amount of vulnerabilities that are out there across applications, networks, devices, is just enormous for IT teams to deal with. So what we do is we ingest that information, we make it relevant to the infrastructure that it's around, and then we take the next step. We say, let's look at these vulnerabilities. We ingest it from vulnerability scanning tools, and then we say, how is that relevant, and which of those vulnerabilities are weaponized? So the ones that are going to attack us. And then we whittle it down even further and say, let's prioritize it in terms of the ability to elevate privileges or execute code on devices. Those are ones that we really want to worry about. And then we add another dimension, which is which ones are relevant out there in the wild at the moment, which ones are being exploited by hackers. And those are the ones you really want to attack first, fix them first, solve them so that you don't expose yourself there. And then you can start to eat the elephant piece by piece out of that. And then we have the ability to take that output and then drive patch management beyond that so that you deal with those vulnerabilities in an effective way. So in summary, what we do is we help organizations to make sense of the complexity by making data available and then providing them with tools to allow them to act and remediate in an effective and structured way.
Thank you very much. If I got you right, that is like a 360-degree deep dive enablement. Thank you. I'll follow up with a question to Mr. Samia. Just following up on what our two panelists have brought to our attention with zero trust, especially from what Eric has mentioned. We have seen that with zero trust emerging as a standard for modern security, how is IGEL, I believe, enabling organizations, particularly in Africa, given that this is Connected Africa Summit, to implement adaptive role-based access and endpoint security that aligns with the new AI-powered threat landscape?
Great, thank you. Good question.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with a story here for everyone to know what's the difference between the AI agents and the agentic AI. And for the first time when I started hearing it, then I was like, what's the difference? And then I've realized something where if you are managing a grid, the electricity grid, and then you have the AI agent sitting there, it will be able to understand and then eliminate the repetitive tasks that humans are doing in distributing the load of the electricity. But now, in this particular agent, it does like prompt and response. So it understands that this is what happened. Now, with the agentic AI, in that particular grid, what will happen? Start to have reasoning. In other words, it will understand what is the problem here, and they can fight together. The AI agents can fight together, and then this will form a sort of something called meta argument. And when the meta argument starts happening, it's a mathematical logic. And whoever wins in that particular agentic AI, it will learn and it will save it in the memory. So where we are coming is really dangerous. And we are the good people, probably, and we have bad people outside, and those bad people are utilizing the AI effectively. And they will come to us sooner or later. And when we have those AI setups in our organizations, they will be ready to attack those AIs easily. So, this is where I believe in a change of mindset. And what do I mean by change of mindset here? And where IGIL comes into this picture. If you look at all other vendors now, or the technologies that we have, it's all about delivering a service. Everyone is talking about operating system as a service, application as a service, access for users as a service, which means, in other words, in some time, there will be no need for the edge computing device, or probably it will become a screen. So, this is where we are trying to analyze altogether that IGIL came in that concept that if you want to focus on security, focus your 20% out of 100 on the data center and eliminate the 80% which is on the user side. How? By easily providing an adaptive delivery of your desktop functionalities, let's say, and the user requests. So this how it happened. It's an IGIL, it's a Linux read-only operating system. Read-only, it means that there will be no vulnerability, zero vulnerability. So now we're changing the mindset. There's no more threat attacking vulnerability, and there's no more incidents behind the vulnerabilities, and there's no more impact, which is loss of reputation, money loss, and so on. So this is where IGIL came into the picture and said, okay, you know what? All these endpoints, which is 80% of your headache, we're going to eliminate the functions of patch management and then OS update, AV, EDR, DLP, and then we're going to put that operating system, which is only read only. And then we're going to deliver the users whatever they want. For example, they want a virtual desktop interface. They want progressive web apps like Teams, Chrome, Edge, Zoom, whatever they want. And on top of that, we have seen lately in the market, and especially in certain countries in Africa as well, you have a lot of production business like manufacturing or like oil and gas or whatever it is. They're running on Windows 7 and Windows XP, and those are out of support. And no other vendor is now supporting those operating systems. IGIL does that. It can virtualize those Windows 7, Windows XP old systems, and then it allow the business to continue working and operating until the right moment in shifting those line of production, let's say OT devices, the operational technology. That's it for now. I'm gonna.
Brilliant, very, very good. Laba, lastly, I come to you, and from as a senior management consultant, from the presentation all that we have seen, especially on AI, we have seen that AI is transforming every application, and by extension every risk surface, because we've seen both it plays for and against. And from a strategic advisory standpoint, how should African organizations rethink trust and risk management in their digital transformation roadmaps?
Thank you very much. Thanks very much, Philip. I think, as you said, today everybody's know that AI is bringing a lot of opportunity to the governments, to enterprises, citizens, and so on. on the field of healthcare, agriculture, finance, and banking, you name it. But I think today it is important for Africa to come to a let's say, like he just said, to a shift of mindset. Meaning here, risk management is very important. Risk management, but in the context, as I always says, of digital sovereignty. What does this mean? It means here, if you entrust it, let's say, a device or a system, which is not, you don't know exactly what is behind. And just imagine today, if you want to enter Kenya through the borders, and so you have people sitting with police people with weapons, and so protecting that border. But what about, let's say, the digital space? Do you have the same to control? Is that, am I ready to entrust, let's say, a Tanzanian to protect the border of Kenya while he didn't take a oath for protecting Kenya? So the same is what I'm seeing also in the digital space. You need to let's say, to come to a point where you says, we own, let's say, the systems, we understand the system, there is transparency, we control at the end. And control, as we said, often says, yeah, trust is good, but control is better. So, and that's in the same way I see the management of risk, not only from the technological point of view, having the system ready to take off this risk. It is also important that from the policy perspective and from the culture perspective, that we are ready as African to create to develop a mindset and protect our cyber security, cyberspace. So that's for the moment. And I think, let's say, I always says trust is based on, let's say, control, and control is based on, you need to have a kind of sovereignty of the things. And that's one point I think very important. And the next important, cybersecurity should be seen as the backbone of let's say, of the digital space, of also from the economy. And you see, and at the end, also the backbone of the sovereignty. And that means here, protecting the cybersecurity space, or the space, the cyberspace mean here, you shouldn't let, or I don't mean that these systems, what we just saw today, Cisco and so on, they have all good systems, yeah? But at the end of the day, as imagine you have, I don't know if you are aware about, for example, the Patriot Act, the US Patriot Act, in different provision, different section of the Patriot Act, force enterprises, American enterprises, to share without any fear, to share those information to government in US government. So are we ready to bring those systems into our, for example, classified defense environment? Do we want to do it? I don't think it is the wise way of managing the risk for the countries, or for even critical infrastructure like banking, federal bank, or central banks, and telco infrastructure, or energy, and so on. I think we need to shift the paradigm here and to come to a point where we say, we as African, we need to first to create, let's say, to create ourselves the system, or to entrust a system where we know what is behind the transparency. And second, build capacity to understand those systems, also to develop, innovate for the African continent. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Laba. I think your sentiments are very clear that cybersecurity and privacy ideally echoes social and economic development, and of course becomes the bedrock of correctly, national security. Secretary, I'll come back to you with his sentiments, and I just want to still build on to that, dwelling specifically on AI and cybersecurity solutions. We've seen sentiments where it's being argued that AI-based security solutions enhance digital trust. And as a country, we recently launched the AI strategy. Probably from where you sit, you can be in a position to advise us and tell us how this will empower local innovation ecosystem in this space. Bwana Secretary.
Okay. Thank you so much. One question many will ask themselves is, why did we first go for the strategy and not the policy? Why did we do the AI strategy instead of the policy? And the answer is simple. The thought and the team that was working on the AI strategy, the thought was, if we go policy, we might end up strangling or killing the innovation motive of an AI system or an AI policy within the country. So they decided, let's start with the strategy. Strategy gives us a broader picture of what is possible, what is allowable, and what can we be able to make. So they came up with over 360 scenarios and options where Kenya can choose what to start with. Where do we see priority in our organization, but we still have the others ready to be implemented as and when it's moved. And now we have embarked on the policy. We have a clear sight on how we can be able, I don't want to use regulate because in Kenya the word regulate sends the wrong message. How can we be able to control or be able to help the AI enthusiasts and the tech world use AI more effectively and efficiently without and in an ethical and allowed manner. And that's what we have embarked on at the moment with the AI policy. With regard to AI in cybersecurity, it's already incorporated in the strategy. But what I'll tell people, since my years in cybersecurity, I think cybersecurity adapted AI way before anybody did, and I stand to be corrected. Reason being, we started using behavioral analysis to be able to catch malware many years ago, and that is much of AI. Those days we called it expert systems. It's just a change of name. Now we are calling it AI. Yes, the propagation now is higher. A single person can be able to run a botnet without the help. Those years, people used to form groups and cells to be able to launch a cyber attack or a denial of service attack. But a single person today can be able to run a distributed denial of service attack within seconds. And that's on the other side. We are seeing most of the security solutions today have incorporated AI to be able to discover malicious activity, malware, and all that much easily. And the signature-based discovery methods are almost no longer used today. So we have both sides. What we should do is, we who are sitting on the good side should talk more. Because unfortunately, the underworld talk a lot, and it's no longer about fame. During our years, when we were studying cybersecurity, it was about I'm a champ, I managed to hit this organization. It was fame, but today it's all economic. And we all know, if the underworld was a country, today economically it will be the third largest country, and very soon it will be overtaking China to be the second largest economy. So it's all financially motivated. It's all about making money. Hence the reason today you're seeing ransomware, complex, and all that. And what I would encourage us who are on this other side is, can we talk more? And can we be able to collaborate more so that we can be able to counter the underworld? Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Buena Secretary. I think in the interest of time, I just want to have, parting shots from all of us. And I'll come to you, Eric. In one sentence, what is the single most urgent action that Africa must take to ensure that AI strengthens rather than threatens its cybersecurity future?
So I think for me, it's about the benefit of using AI. I think as attackers, they have the benefit of using the tool for benefit, whether it's beneficial or not. For the defenders, for within Africa, we have limited skills available. It's difficult to deal with the complexities. So use the AI to be more efficient and effective, and then lift yourself out of that quagmire of complexity and start focusing on strategic actions, all the actions that have been discussed. So use AI to the benefit of the continent to ward off those attacks and move forward.
Thank you. Samuel, what about you?
I would definitely say that we have to invest right now in AI, and Kenya is doing that, and the rest of the African countries. I would love to add into the AI capabilities also even the all the tribes that you have here. One of them is Malakoti, let's say. I got it right. So even the smallest ones. And at the same time, I would definitely urge all the organizations to go to the policy enforcement, risk assessment, and the role based, because an AI at the end has to be exactly treated as a user, as a human being. So he has access to certain places and so on. And last thing I would want to tell you is that every organization has to have a kill button switch. If you don't have it, then I think we are dead, because historically, thousands of years, whoever is intelligent in terms of species were ruling. Now we are humans ruling and not the gorillas. Why? Because of the intelligence. And if we gave AI all the power on earth and it's continuously running without a kill button switch, I think we will be out.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's quite insightful from you. Laba, I think from you, and being a senior consultant, especially in your area, I would want you to maybe give us, like, looking ahead 5 to 10 years, what legacy would you like, your organization, Datacom, or office to leave, and, when you look back, you're like, I contributed to that, especially in shaping, the field of data privacy and cybersecurity.
So I will rather speak for myself than speak for the organization.
Yeah.
I would say in the future, what I would like to leave as legacy is that I have contributed, and whether with my organization or something else, that's the awareness of African community in general, the African youth, and that they are aware about what digital sovereignty, resilient infrastructure, and transformative IT contribution to the economy, to the society. And that means here, I would like to be part of that journey who help to build more capacity in terms of cybersecurity, in terms of AI-driven, let's say, infrastructure, cybersecurity infrastructure, but owned by African. That is my dream. And I really hope that in joint forces, organization, government, public sector, civil society, and expert, that it is feasible, but we need to take action today, that in 10 years from today, we can look back and say, we were able to secure the cyberspace of Africa, and using AI-driven tools, but that we can also, which is, let's say, take into consideration our local context, our cultural environment, and so on. That is what I would like to, when I look back 10 years from 10 years now, what I would like to see what have been contributed.
Very well, very well. And thank you so very much, gentlemen. I think, in summary, what I have gathered from this conversation is that number one, it's clear AI will define the next chapter in cybersecurity. But it's up to us to decide whether it becomes a tool of protection or exploitation, as also that has been shared by our two keynote speakers, Letgen and Kelvin. And then, of course, Africa cannot afford to be reactive. We must lead in setting the terms of engagement. We are actually the ones who train these AI models. Number two, trust is not a feature, it's the foundation. And that came out quite clear. Whether you are building technology or policy, trust must be embedded by design and not an afterthought. You don't need to patch it on after the breach. And of course, that is where zero trust comes in. And of course, zero trust itself is not a buzzword, it's a strategy for survival. I think Kelvin emphasized that. And lastly, what I get from this panel also is that Africa's moment to co-create is now. With our young population, a rapid digital growth, of course, with good policies and rising innovation hubs, we have the talent and agency to shape global cybersecurity norms, not just to follow them, but to also create and play active role in them. And therefore, the future of AI-powered cybersecurity should be made with Africa and not just for it. Thank you so very much. And I think, we come to the end of our panel discussion this evening. Thank you. Absolutely. Yes.
It's not working. Ah, okay. Who asked a good question, I'm going to tell him a story at the end.
All right, at this point, I'd like to open up the floor just for a few minutes to take a few questions from the delegates in the room. Please feel free to ask a question.
Oh.
Just lift your hand.
Thank you. Thank you very much, panelists, for the interesting discussion that we've had around AI, the ethical use of AI. Both AI can be used both as an enabler and even it can be exploitative. And that throws out the question now on, Sir, you talked about having something like a kill switch for AI, just in case it goes rogue. But I'm thinking about it in terms of now you are using AI in multiple, probably in that scenario, there's been a lot of discussions around how when one day AI, for example, becomes rogue, and how can you be able to tame it? And the idea about having a kill switch for it, for example, can be probably in terms of, I would just like to know how, what model do you have in mind in controlling AI? Because once it has been used as an enabler, it means that it has created dependencies. Yeah, all industries, for example, may be having dependencies on that AI over and over, and it creates a ripple effect. So it will be both disruptive, destructive even. So that was the idea that I had. What are some of those nitty-gritties that you can put in place just to ensure that AI is being controlled even at the different foundations that has been laid on? Thank you.
Great question.
Eric,
And it's very simple.
You want to take that, Eric?
Can I?
Please, yeah.
It's very simple. The catalyst is you. You have to lead this among your closed circle, then the bigger circle, until it reaches to every government organization. Now, don't worry, the ICA team and everyone else, they are taking amazing control. But this is where you remind them. This is where you remind every other organization. Because if we don't have that in place as a reinforcement from you and from everyone else, then it's gonna not be good.
Thank you.
Maybe.
Yeah, you want to chip in, Bonas Secretary?
Yeah. I'll chip in. Yeah. Kill switch. That's quite interesting. So what I'll say first from the foundation. One, it's your algorithms. And you heard today all the speakers were talking about the fourth industrial revolution. Africa cannot choose to be left behind. One, we have a big advantage, a young population, which is agile. Now we just need to train them very well to be able to create our own algorithms. The unfortunate thing that is happening around the world is all of us, except 2 countries, are training algorithms belonging to 2 countries. That's the US and China. That's the first mistake we're making. So we're sharpening the algorithms. Then, secondly, is the data sets. You need clean data sets. Hence the reason why the government is going among the sector working group. One of the biggest proposals is have a data policy for the country. And that's actually at inception, and it's going through advanced stages. And very soon it will come for public participation. Please be involved. And lastly, we also have our own AI system in Kenya, the Simba chatbot. How many of you know about it? See, we are all at ChatGPT, we are all at cloud, we are all at all this. We are training other systems for other people. Let's start using some of our own. We have Simba and it's available. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I think in the end, to talk that it's all about cybersecurity is all about risk management. Right? So it depends on if you allow AI to have control, you also need to manage that risk. So when we design those solutions, when you adopt those solutions, you must also understand where there are dependencies and where any of those systems becomes rogue, what that impact be on our operations, on our risk profile, on the exposure. So I think it's important when we design these systems, when we adopt these systems, that we think about that. And kill switch is maybe a radical term around it, but it talks to managing that risk. And whether if a kill switch is required to manage the risk, then you need to put that in place. But then you need to also then deal with the dependency of your whole organization on those AI systems and what that would mean from an operational perspective. So, it's about risk management. So one must be very cognizant of what that means when you adopt these systems. So that's the approach you should take.
Thank you. You wanna jump in, Laba?
No, I mean, he just, Mr. Secretary just mentioned it. I think the most important thing that you get involved. Getting involved and not training other system. You train the other system, you create dependencies. And that is not what we want in the future. And let's say you started speaking or putting this information, your own information, to ChatGPT. What will be that system in 10 years from today? Would that system take ownership, let's say, the control of the world? Or what do you want? And my preach is really to say, just let Africa get involved, innovate, and bring it. We have very, very talented people, and we can do it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Any other question?
Yeah, thank you for that great presentation. I'm Samuel from NCPD. Now I'm thinking that we are in the era where we are rushing into, this is just a thinking, perhaps just a philosophy, rushing into AI. But the other thing I'm wondering, are we having good standards? Like, the cabs, we have a way of standardizing what is trickling down to the consumers. Or are we rushing to embrace what is going to lock in our data? So many things have happened around our space. You remember there was some guy who came around, did the scanning of iris. It was public. So are we really securing what we have. Then the other thing is about the patenting, making maybe patenting of what we have in-house, or we are really investing in what is building others. For me, I'm feeling we need clarity. It's still not clear for me if we are yet there or something we need to go slow. Get into a meeting, you'll find there's this note taker. Do we have control over such things? Maybe just to help us gain like what, like a way to secure, to standardize, or to align what is meant for us, and also to say this is not meant for us. I don't know if it's a question or if it's just a thought line for any of the panelists. Thank you.
AI for good and data sovereignty. I think Laba, that speaks into your area.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I would say, let's say today, Africa is a consumer when it comes to digital tools, including AI. And my big worry on that is that you create, again, dependency, as I said before. And this dependency is not only for the next 20, 50 years, it's maybe the next 500 years, because you create models. And models mean you may not be able to change it anymore. And that is my big worry on this. And I really think that is what we are seeing. Look at, for example, this Facebook or this social media integrated with AI, how the people are using, putting everything is there. I'm personally very worried about that, but I think that Africa has a big advantage, and that is the youth. We have more than 60% of the population is over 30 years. And that means we could be ahead of this, and that are digital talents. And you go to Europe, you see how the population structure is. And therefore, I really think that we just need to get away from this fear and own the technology, try to create. And that is, now I'm watching the policymaker, they need to invest in the capacity building. Investing. This is no way loss of money. And I hope that investing there, that will be able to change the trend and to really become champions as creating, let's say, regional and local champion in the field of AI, but in other digital tools too. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Laba. Any other question? I think we should be wrapping it up.
I'll add one more comment on his question.
There's a question?
No. The question that he asked.
Please.
Yeah, so I'll add a small comment here. We did something like in our organization where we always keep on engaging with the employees and the people around us, especially when it comes to the data. What data you need to give those AIs, let's say? What prompts? What is the data classification? What is data governance? What is data architecture, and so on? Because the data that you're going to give it, probably you are a small to medium business. Probably you are a retail shop. So the government has to also help in educating those companies what to do and what data to be provided. And at the same time, if they can create a sort of website that has all the listing of the AI companies that are certified, validated, that they are creating such connectors and agents for the good use. I don't know if this is what you meant. Okay.
So thank you so very much. I think we need to stop at that. We have, we'll give it back to our MC. Can get us, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Director, for taking us through that panel. It was insightful. It was eye-opening, and we're grateful for that. We'd ask your panelists to kindly stand up and so that we can take a picture.